Hello! In this video, we will have mock test questions for you to practice with and also sample answers. The videos will be separate, but you can follow the link, and good luck. Have you borrowed books from others? Sure, plenty of times. My friends and I pretty much all like to read for fun, so we actively pass books back and forth. It's a very informal arrangement, but we also take care to return the books to their original owners. Have you ever borrowed money from others? Small amounts of money here and there, yes. By small, I mean the cost of lunch or dinner, which is easy to pay back right away. In general, I think it's a bad idea to borrow significant amounts of money from friends, so I try to avoid it. Do you like to lend things to others? Yeah, especially if it's something I want to share with someone. A good example would be books I've enjoyed. Travel guides in particular are great for lending if you and your friends visit the same countries or cities at different times. How do you feel when people don't return things they've borrowed from you? I think it shows a degree of carelessness on the part of the person who doesn't return what they've borrowed. Often the item is not important, but that's not really the point. People should feel a duty to return the things they borrow. Every few years I visit New York City, and whenever I do, I always stop by the New York Public Library. In the age of ebooks and audiobooks, which you can buy online and download, it might seem strange to visit a library when visiting a city. I don't actually go to borrow books, but instead to enjoy the beauty and grandeur of the building, which is in Midtown Manhattan. The last time I visited was in 2017. I was in the city for work, and I had a free afternoon, so I decided to visit the library to relax. On this most recent visit, I went alone. I actually brought my own book and sat in the reading room on the first floor for a few hours. It was a hot summer day, so it was nice to escape the heat. Much to my surprise, for such an old building, the air conditioning is really excellent. I don't remember what book I was reading, but when I was done with it, I visited a photo exhibition that documented life in the city in the early 20th century. The photos were all black and white and did a great job capturing the gritty lives of the city's people many years back. There were photos of families having cookouts on the street and factory workers eating lunch on the sidewalk. It was fun to note how fashion and style have changed so much over the decades. I love New York City, but like other big cities, it can be exhausting. There are crowds and lines everywhere, and the general pace of life is quicker than I'm used to. The library provides a great counterpoint. It's silent and still and relaxing, which is a much-needed escape. In addition to the exhibitions, they always have famous authors coming by to read from their recent works and answer questions from the audience. I hope I have a chance to attend one of these events on a later visit to the library. Who should be responsible for conserving old buildings? The responsibility for conserving old buildings should primarily lie with the government and local authorities. They should enact and enforce strict preservation laws and regulations to ensure the protection and maintenance of historical structures. Additionally, heritage organizations, architectural experts, and community members should also play a role in raising awareness, providing expertise, and actively participating in preservation efforts. Do you think the appearance of a building is important? Certainly. The aesthetic appeal of a building can greatly impact the overall atmosphere and attractiveness of a place. Well-designed buildings not only enhance the visual appeal of a city, but also contribute to the cultural and architectural heritage. Ultimately, the building also has to be functional and fit for its purposes, but there's no reason a building can't be both pleasing to look at and totally functional. What is the most important to a public building? Design, location, or facilities? While design and location are both important factors in public buildings, If I need to choose one, I would say that the most crucial aspect is the facilities. Public buildings should be equipped with appropriate amenities and infrastructure to effectively serve their intended functions. For instance, a hospital needs modern medical equipment and facilities, whereas a library should provide a wide range of resources and comfortable reading areas. Design and location contribute to an overall quality and make certain buildings great, but it is the facilities that directly impact the building's usability and functionality, so they're the most important. Do more people prefer to live in houses or apartments in your country? In my country, while the majority of people would prefer to live in a house, many know this is not realistic. Over the last several decades, more and more people have moved to cities where space is tight and housing is expensive. Only the very wealthy can afford a house in a major city, so many people choose to live in apartments. At the same time, millions of people live outside the cities where space is plentiful. For these people, a house is always preferable and affordable, ideally with a nice sized yard and, if you're really lucky, a swimming pool.